There's little information about the gods from the strange world, but here's what we know for sure. Aphrodite II. Resents sovereign, but was almost forced to marry him in order to save her father Zeus II. Luckily, Iolaus and the rebels were able to stop sovereign before the marriage actually happened. Ares II. Shows more concern and love for people than Aphrodite of the other universe does. He also dislikes Cupid II and calls him a maniac. Zeus II. Built the labyrinth of eternal memory for his son Sovereign and went a bit mad because of that. Years later, Sovereign poisoned him with hind's blood in order to force Aphrodite II to marry him so he could replace Zeus II as king of the gods. Now let's go to the north and see how gods treat each other there, though again, the amount of information about them in this series is quite small. Balder is a son of Frigga and Odin. He also has two brothers, Thor and Loki. Being compassionate, Balder is on good terms with all members of his family. He frequently uses his powers to heal mortals, and thus is the most loved and most popular among not only humans, but gods as well. In the myth, Balder was in love with Nanna, and together they had a son Forseti. Loki. He does not hesitate to kill his family to reach his goals, as he has resentment towards all its members, especially his parents, because he lived under the shadows of his brothers Thor and Balder. Loki formed a pact with the force of darkness, presumably Dayhawk, to bring about 3 tragedies that would herald Ragnarok. He also stole the Book of Fate from the Norn, and painted a future in which Balder was dead and Thor defeated by a half-god. Moreover, he blinded his father Odin with the help of a mask that he had created. Odin. He is respected elder patriarch of a volatile family. Odin is deeply in love with his wife Frigga and worries about what happens to mortals who worship him and his divine family. But he also has a habit of sleeping with his Valkyries, and that's why he is possibly the father of Grendel, Gunhild's son. And let's talk about some other gods. For example, Dumuzi. After Gilgamesh destroyed the chalice of the gods, the source of mortality and life of Sumerian gods, Dumuzi was forced to find a new source of nourishment, human souls. He held Hercules responsible for the death of the other Sumerian gods, and thus fought him, but was defeated. Then there's Kal. He and Ares have a checkered history. First, Ares stole the Dark Chakram from him and gave it to Xena, which strongly angered Kal. Years later, after the Dark Chakram was broken by Callisto, Ares came to Kal in hope of getting his hands on the Chakram of Light, which had the power to kill gods. Since both gods wanted to wield that power, they decided to put their differences aside and work together to lure Xena to the Chakram. But as usual, Xena spoiled their game. Kali. Xena was once transformed into her by Krishna to fight the king of demons Indrajit. Kernunnos. He was violently opposed to the Druids and their teachings, and made his ex-lover Morgan hunt them down. Together with Morgan, they also had a daughter Bridget, who Kernunnos kept hostage to manipulate Morgan. Since Hercules studied with Druids, he too became an enemy to Kernunnos. Lady of the Lake. She recognized King Arthur as the prophesied bearer of Excalibur and gave him the sword. And that's it! Thank you for bearing with me throughout all of this. Stay safe, and until the next video.